online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
The music video?
We don't need the music video. We know the choreography.
You know the choreography.
This ain't no one's choreography. That's like fourth grade cheerleading class.
I didn't have that in fourth grade.
I don't know.
I was in a bubble.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? This is your boy DJ Jesse Jane here in studio for Eastlo's High AfterBuzz TV After Show. I'm joined by Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
Julian Dujarric.
Your microphone does work. What's
I'm
going
like,
on?
is it on?
What's up, guys?
My 10, want to. You know.
We still, I think, Steven, you're trying to tune us out. You keeping the music on.
I like it.
You don't want to
Gives me
hear our
energy.
jam. He didn't want us to chant.
What are you
Playing with my balls.
Are you playing with my balls,
Are you
Steven?
playing with my balls?
Playing
with my balls.
Which was the title of this episode?
Playing with my balls.
You just like saying balls.
Playing with my balls.
My balls.
Playing with my balls.
It brings me back to no one watching the show will probably get this reference, but it brings me back to a Saturday Night Live skit where they talked about sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
And it kind of
Sweaty
sounded
balls.
like this, you know? Definitely check that out on
Playing
YouTube.
with my
It's an SNL clip. It's called Sweaty Balls. All right, let's talk
We
about
just
it.
left you there.
Just gonna leave you with some
Leave that nugget or that ball
Yeah.
for you.
holiday
It's
seasons.
Ball of
your
comedy.
court.
Holiday seasons are coming around. Get you a little glistening sweaty ball.
Oh, God.
Sweaty ball.
Can we
Yeah, can
remake
we?
that one day? That'd be so much fun to do in that.
Sweaty
episode.
balls.
All right, let's talk about it. Camilla's
Yes.
stepdad.
Dang, he got stabbed.
Got
up.
stabbed
He was like, yo,
up.
you
They
got
won't
kids?
let
I
him
got
out.
kids. Oh, yeah. And I think you like playing with kids.
He said, "You want to see a picture?"
It was rough. It's a horrible way to die.
I'd be like, "No, I don't even want to talk to you right now.
Yeah,
I don't know-
yeah. Get away
afraid
from me.
of
I don't
you.
know you. No offense to your children. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to get close to you.
No,
I'm in jail.
you're in jail. You have to be nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd be really nice. I'd be like, I'm sure they're adorable. I don't want to see them though.
Yeah.
I
You would have been
know,
insulted.
I'm not insulting you in any way, shape, or form. I just have
Yeah,
an
you are.
anxiety problem. I cannot be around. I actually can't be here right now.
Bitch, look at this picture.
He had no idea.
I can't.
Like, I can't see.
You're
You should
in a
just, like,
corner
I'm
right now,
blind.
literally.
I can't see.
All right, so we get this situation with Nick where he has to testify
Yeah.
against is it Omar? Is that his name? The lead drug lord.
It's really funny. I didn't even pay attention.
The head drug dealer
The head
in
dude
charge.
in charge. Whatever his name is.
HD.
That crew.
Icy?
HDIC
Head
head
drug-
dick in charge.
Head dick.
So Nick tells Camilla a lot of shit's about to go down and that her stepdad was murdered. He had a hit out
It
for
was
him.
a hit.
And as he says that, Jesus pulls up like, "Yo, fool!
Why you talking to my girl?
Why you talking to her like that?"
I don't like that, Holmes.
What are you doing here?
And he pulls a gun out on Nick. And
Yeah.
Nick said, "See,
Well,
I
in his
told you."
defense, Nick rushed him and punched him first.
Yeah.
So we pull out guns.
Nick punched him first.
Yeah.
But a man would just fight him back.
If he a killer, no, he didn't shoot him. But you gonna step.
Girl, he.
You know who
cocked the
Jesus
gun, right?
is. You trying to tell Camilla who Jesus is. Why you gonna roll up on him and try to fight him?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, oh, that's your girl?
Right.
I was just playing. Bye. Like, leave.
Right.
How you gonna run up and punch him? Like, you
her
gonna do
shit loose
something.
anyways. I don't need it.
He has something to prove.
My sister's tongue was in there. I don't need
Oh
that.
my god.
It's real.
So Nick is so upset and irritated that he decides he's gonna testify. But if he testifies, he can never see his family again.
He's going into witness protection. And that's why he was trying to get Camilla to go with him.
Does his family go into witness protection
No,
too?
just him.
Because
He
snitches
didn't
get
think-
stitches.
Yeah.
And so don't your family.
And, yeah, your family will. I forgot. I didn't even think
Poor
about that. You didn't get a
abuelo.
sister.
That's the rules of the street because I'm familiar. You know what I mean?
Um,
Clearly.
You know
then-
all about
I
that.
know all about that.
While Nick is gonna flip the situation on Jesus, we get the head drug lords in charge
HDD.
telling Jesus, you know, we good. You know what I mean? You cleared your slate with us.
We took care of Pomona.
However, we have an issue. And you know what? Since you're here, why don't you just deal with it? We want you to kill Nick.
Well, they took care of Pomona for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in
now
return,
he's gotta
yeah.
help them out. Which, okay, so basically,
If you're using that logic.
Jesus and them are on the same level.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
like.
Because if they took care of Pomona, okay.
Who's different than the other?
Yeah,
No
so
one.
I guess it's tit for tat. So we
Yeah.
got to do for each other. So that means you're not above me. Otherwise, you would have been like, you need to go take care of
Exactly.
Pomona. So
I felt the same way. I felt this
Interesting.
almost like how not how dare you, because I'm not that prude, but like how can you
What a situation.
how dare you
ask me to kill Nick.
clutching my pearls? No, I thought like, right? How can you justify your criticism of someone else when you're doing the same thing? Or in the
people
same
do it
way,
every
or just
day.
yeah, I know, but
Such is
still
life.
to be so
That's life.
That's what people say.
Well, let's move to the
So
other
now
side of the
he's
table.
in a rough situation.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't a rock, a hard place.
Yes, but like it's like a rock and a hard place.
That's not a rock.
It's not a rock. Maybe it's a door or a wall.
That's really hard.
That's really
That's
hard.
not made out of stone or any type of rock material.
Maybe
why
it's
isn't
a
the
ball.
rock against the hard place?
Why,
Like
what?
where did the rock come from?
It's just there.
You
Rocks
just
are
ran
be.
in there.
You ran, but you would have
You
to go
ran
over a
between-
rock and to be able to be in between that and a hard
Nope.
place.
No, you could have ran into a coven of rock and hard place, and
Y'all
then
serious right now?
stop judging, Steven.
Yeah,
This is
we're
legit
very-
intellectual discussion.
This is very serious.
It
We're
is very serious because it brings us to a rock and a hard place.
Well,
Yes.
Steven brought us back.
Well, Steven brought us back to a hard
you,
place. Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in a tough situation where, you know, sometimes when you feel a little less than yourself,
Yes.
you tend to gravitate towards people who treat you that way. She was on her date with Pedro.
Except it's Alejandro.
Oh, Alejandro.
Alejandro. I was like, that is a song. Yes, love it. Moving on.
He asked her about the Tiffany bracelet.
Yeah.
Now, see, here's where the date would have went a little for me.
Why
Sideways.
you know the price of the Tiffany bracelet?
I would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, are you gay?
You know the price because he knows the price of a Tiffany bracelet.
Well, the fact that one, he knew it was a Tiffany bracelet.
Yeah.
And then two, yeah, that you knew the exact price of the bracelet. Like, I'm like, do you work for Tiffany?
Well, that made her excited because that means he's been to
maybe
Tiffany's.
he's
Maybe he's
maybe
purchased
he's
it for a young lady
shopping
in the
and
past.
window shopping. You never know.
Except my boyfriend would never remember that that's what.
That's all
like,
I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I could, there's certain words, like a straight guy would be like, oh, isn't that like around, like, that's like, what, 5,000? It's kind of like a questionable. Like, I don't really know a straight man that's like, yeah, Tiffany's diamond bracelet.
Except Soldier Boy.
I know a couple of
He didn't even know what that was, though.
I know a couple of
It's the
straight guys that are
$5,000
like
ruby
that.
necklace.
It's a ruby.
I don't know if that's completely true. I know a couple of straight guys that are very
pay
detailed
attention.
oriented and with their girlfriends. Yeah.
With their
With their
Right.
girlfriend. So like if it was on his woman and he knew, like
true.
to
Like, he
like
had
a stranger, like that he just met,
But he
that
wears
he's
his heart
a
on
date
his
with.
sleeve.
Like, if he just walked up in here
Just
and
an
was like,
emotional
oh my
Oh,
God,
that's a nice Tiffany, whatever.
Courtney, is that a cherish your friend's necklace?
Well, if he says
From
it like
Hallmark?
that, yeah. If he goes,
Page 87.
is that
November
Daniel
issue?
Wellington? Like if he starts like twiddling his hair, of course. But you know, I don't know. I don't think that's indicative.
Julian's not against it,
No.
y'all. All right. fair enough. So
Y'all are hilarious.
then the crazy ex combo. She was like, "No, this is my roommates," and like, you know, she
gave
had a
it to
crazy
me.
ex boyfriend. She had a crazy ex boyfriend and gave it to me, and then yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was
That's
quite-
an expensive gift.
Yeah, it's a really expensive gift, and it's it's funny how she went there. Like that's the only thing she could think of on the spot. Like you can come up with a better lie.
Well, she came up. She said she got it for babysitting, but
it was
then
the
she
truth.
elaborated too
That was-
much.
was it
You
a-
know, it was the truth. She got it for babysitting.
But she's lonely, so she's gonna
She's
say
giving
go
all
extra.
her business.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
okay, yeah,
she's
she
so
gave
excited.
it was a detailed truth, like
was too
extra
much.
detailed. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, true.
Perez Hilton made an appearance this episode.
yeah.
The queen of all media.
Because, well, used to be.
I was gonna say,
dried up.
Still
No.
Go to that site. Is it?
He
like,
be
still
getting
a thing?
0 comments. Sometimes he'll get like 93 views.
That's
like
so fascinating.
He's made his money. He
well,
doesn't
yeah,
care.
he made money off of it, so
He doesn't care.
hopefully he invested well.
Shout out to Perez.
Shout out to
Shout
Perez
out,
Hilton
bro.
though, because you're doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
So he talks about her article. He hits her up, and she did this article on. Was it specifically on Eddie or just more so undocumented?
I think it was like a combination, like using Eddie as a springboard for the undocumented problem.
Did she mention him by name? I don't remember.
I hope not.
I don't think. Yeah.
I need to target Eddie.
Yeah.
Even though now his mama gonna be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that her article was. I think it was more of a broad. I think it was worded
They
broadly.
didn't really specify.
Yeah,
Well,
they didn't
because
really
they talked
specify.
about the award and how
Well, they would have had to mention him because they had talked about how they denied the
award.
and whatchamacallit, and his picture was everywhere.
Oh, right.
So they would have had to mention him. So
Yeah. True.
cat's out of the bag,
Yeah.
guys.
Boom. That'll be an interesting turn that they.
Yeah. How does that?
How do we fix that?
Yeah.
So he basically wants to put her article on his website. We see her get a couple other calls. So good for Jocelyn.
I wonder if that's a sign of where Perez Hilton would like to go with his website.
Interesting.
Just a thought.
Jocelyn
Shout out to
wants
Perez.
to do an undocumentary.
Undocumentary.
Clever.
Clever.
Yeah. Interesting play on words.
We get to the bomb squad. We find out they're going to go to a dance battle and they could win $10,000.
$1,000.
Change some lives. Maybe make it.
But doesn't it just go to the school to keep the program going?
Yeah, that's what I
Because
was
it's not
I
like
don't know
$10,000 for you. Like,
right. Like the music video thing was different because someone was
Yeah.
hiring you after school
as
for
dancers,
something.
yeah. This is
So-
going. It will go to the school.
It should go to the school. It should go for a fund for the bomb
Yeah,
squad,
it'll
like
probably
costumes
go.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. What?
And
I'm
as
scared.
it happens, Ceci runs out. She bumps into Jacob, and they make out.
Yeah.
In the middle of the school hallway, how juvenile.
They're teenagers.
You're teachers. You are
19.
professionals.
They're teenagers.
19.
That's fine, but they're professionals. But I'm not gonna hate. This is why I'm not gonna hate.
Who was professional at 19?
Well, you are if you took a job and
I
you got a
wasn't.
baby.
I was in New York,
Well,
very responsible.
I was in college. I was irresponsible when I was allowed to be, but when
Right.
I was at work, I wasn't making out with people in the stacks.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I will say because
y'all
I
had
know,
boring lives.
I mean, say what you want. I was trying to keep a job because I had to pay for school.
Okay.
But as much as I did not want this to happen, obviously it was coming because we saw it building
Yeah.
and it was disgusting. But I decided.
It's like I feel like you're talking about incest every time we talk about.
But
it.
I decided this is why it's okay.
Why?
And I don't mean this in a negative way because I know that this word
love that
is
you have to-
taken negatively.
Okay.
But I've decided that Jacob and Ceci deserve each other because they're both basic. Maya is trying to make a come up in life, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a
How do you not
they're the simple life.
Maya gonna put on 20 more pounds.
No,
making
Maya
tomato
is going to be
sauces
like
in
the
back
head
of a
chef of a
taqueria.
5-star restaurant
Oh my
with her
God.
nice pad and her beautiful husband and
I have bigger
and
dreams for you,
Jacob's
Ceci.
still going to be
Yeah.
at the taqueria doing his thing, which is fine. Like some people, everybody can't be great. Everybody's not Beyonce.
I feel like Ceci can be. Oh my
know what I'm
God.
saying? Like,
I feel like
there's-
Ceci can be great.
Everybody, no.
No, Ceci gonna be like Abby's dance team moms, but not
Which is
Abby.
great,
She gonna be
which is a
like,
good
what's the
life.
other one?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Oh,
What?
yo, I love her.
I love her too, but that's what Ceci gonna do.
But that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with staying in your hometown and teaching and doing that thing. Like, everybody's not meant to elevate beyond that. Some people are meant to.
But
stay
that's
and do
greatness
that
in
thing.
and of
that
itself.
I'm not disagree. That's why I didn't want to mean that it was like a bad thing to
Like,
say
you're
that they're
a basic.
basic.
She's not saying
She's
you're
not,
basic.
not you're a basic
bitches.
bitch. Like, not like that. But like, you want the regular. You go with what is in front of you and what's comfortable and what works
Yep.
because that's how
What makes
most
you
people
feel
do.
safe.
And that's why they should be together. And so I'm fine with it now.
Yes.
That was a really long explanation.
Basic bitch love. Basic bitch love.
Two
BBL.
basic bitches together, loving.
Man,
I feel like that should be a TV show. Basic bitch love.
Yes.
on VH1.
Yeah, stop fooling everybody into believing that they're supposed to live these like rich, amazing lives. Like, it's all fake. Most of y'all are
It's
basic.
just gonna be basic and trying to learn how to stay in.
Stay just
together.
you're just trying to stay together, trying to make a little money
And make
and
that
try
coin.
to procreate. That's what most people are trying to do.
So Ceci and Jacob make out, and then Ceci starts getting weird.
She freaks out.
Yeah.
She's
'Cause
like,
in-
what?
she knows she has feelings for him,
Mhm.
but
He's
she's
my
still
friend.
stuck. Do you think it's the friend thing, or do you think it's more that she's afraid of getting into another situation because of Pedro? She thinks either Pedro is going to come back, or she's going to get into a situation that could maybe ruin her friendship with Jacob.
I think it's both.
I think it's a combination of things. I don't think the trepidation she feels in being authentically, feeling these feelings for him and acting accordingly is what I'm trying to say, stems from one thing. I think it has to affect her that her ex-boyfriend, the father of her daughter, is as crazy as
well,
he
remember,
is.
that's not her baby daddy.
Oh,
Her baby daddy was somebody else.
Well, that man that was in her
So there's
life
3 of them now.
has caused a significant amount of trauma.
Yes.
That's fair to say. So that in conjunction with maybe not wanting the relationship between her and a friend, someone she considers a friend, to change. I think it's a combination of those two things. From what we've seen, anyway, there could be some underlying thing that is yet to be revealed in this season. But
And in a lot of ways, Jacob has been her savior.
Yeah.
So, who is she going to turn to when things get rough with Jacob? Which inevitably they will.
Yeah.
You're 19 and you have a baby and you're dating and shit happens.
I don't know if she has that much foresight, though. I don't know if she's thinking, if we get into a fight, who can I confide
Well, I think
in?
that speaks to the friend thing. You're the person I confide in. You're the person that is my buddy. I'm starting to get close to Vanessa now, but who else is Ceci hanging out with and talking to except
That's
for
true.
Bomb Squad kids? So, you're the other person in my life.
Where's her healthy kind of
Yeah.
conversation?
I don't have parents. I don't have, I'm not going to my aunties.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I
Okay.
also love that everyone on East Los drinks coconut water. It's very healthy.
That's such a you observation.
All right, so
You would notice that.
I don't like it.
I don't. It just
gross.
it tastes like semen. I don't know if that was too much.
No, come on.
Jocelyn.
Okay.
All right, wrong show.
Keeping it entertaining up in East Los.
So I've heard. Jocelyn talks with Eddie's mom. They do a scene for the undocumentary.
Yes.
Where she talks about health clinics, and this is a big situation, really big conversation that should be had, and I'm glad that they are having this discussion. Health clinics and not having health insurance, and people are scared to be able to go to the doctors for basic things.
Yeah.
I like that Eddie brought it up. I thought it was honest. I thought it was true. It's funny, living out in California, it's in my face more so than when I was back home.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, it's a chronic ailment that she has, which is treatable, yet she still won't get treated and is afraid to reach out, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big stigma attached to it, and there's an inevitability of not reaching out, and well, not in all cases, but it tends to be that way when you have these ideas, these sort of internalized ideas about what having that condition means and what that means for you personally in your life and your lifespan, whatever. It's understandable. It's just and I am also glad that they brought up that theme. I wish now I feel like there's so much information out there too, that you can just go online and seek out those resources. I wish you would just do that, because I feel like it would add more.
But the language might be different for her to not use certain technologies.
And I know, and also they spoke to the idea that she recognizes that help does exist, but the fear that comes along with your difficult status and being found out, and the idea that you have to really entrust that these people are going to keep, because the truth is you could be put into the hospital in some places and they have to report you. So for her to know that exists, but then to hear people saying, well, they'll keep yours a secret, and you have a child here, and you being deported means your child's also going to be deported, there's a fear that goes along with that. And I appreciated that they sort of spoke to that, which is sad because that should never cost anybody their life. And she's literally killing herself.
Yeah.
She's dying so that her son can, stay here and do something.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, a deep moment for East Los.
Donald Trump, you need to watch East Los.
I don't know.
That'll change Donald
I
Trump.
think if anything, he'll just be like, see
what I mean?
Just send her back.
Yeah.
Then she can get the treatment she needs. and all will be right with the world.
Yeah.
And then we won't have people winning dance competitions that don't deserve it because they're not American.
Because they're not winners.
This is the murder.
I like to win.
Matters.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Speaking of
I
winning,
love
Jacob
Donald
and
Trump.
Ceci
He's
went
the
on a
best.
date
Love
and they
him.
were holding hands, and it was just everything.
And they made out again. In a 20-minute episode, they made out 3 times.
While they did
What's
that,
wrong with making out 3 times in 20 minutes?
that it's them. That's all she cares.
What's wrong with them making out
Because they're like
3 times in 20
grabbing
minutes?
face and like, I thought like the tongue thing was like not allowed. Well, I guess you have to like, in certain situations it is allowed. Okay, yeah, fine. It's still gross.
What?
In terms of like on camera stuff. But
Okay.
whatever.
Oh, okay.
it's
I was
fine.
like, what? There's
Oh,
rules?
really?
I didn't
Like
know
in
this.
certain whatever. Obviously, it doesn't apply in this one because they tongues was.
Well, because it's online.
It's internet based.
It's on
It's
internet.
internet.
Yeah.
What I hate seeing though, like in scenes where there's tongue involved, is like the string of saliva
don't-
that's attached.
yeah.
I don't like that. I think that's
I've
so.
never seen that in a movie other than 50. Wait, no, that date one where they made fun of the Cruel Intentions kiss, and it's the old woman, and she pulls back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah, it's really gross. That and Miley Cyrus's music video. She had the little.
I don't
Yeah, I
even.
can't.
Yeah.
Close
So
up.
Vanessa
not
and
even gonna
Pedro
entertain
or Alejandro are on their date. She invites him over a little fast.
She's like, come on home, boo.
And she says, my roommate's not home. She's on a date with Jacob. He says, Ceci's on a date with Jacob.
I didn't remember telling you her name was Ceci.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah.
And all it took was just a little kiss on her lips to make her forget that she never said Ceci's name.
Yeah.
And he slipped his little hand in her bag and took her house keys and rolled out.
Said, I'll be back.
Deuces.
But here's what I don't get. If you gonna be mean, manipulative, and just plain out evil, like, why would you have paid for the bill?
Because he ain't playing out evil. He's
Yeah.
just crazy in love.
Well, evil. Oh God. Evil calculates, right?
Yes.
There's a
That
certain
just
type
sound
of
like
evil.
a Law and Order episode.
There's a certain type of evil that's very thoughtful and maniacal and sort of calculative, right?
Yes.
And so why wouldn't he pay?
Well, you know that, Julian.
I mean,
Maniacal and calculative.
I live in LA. I encounter it all the time.
You live
And you live with Jesse right now. But I think you're right. And also, he is smart enough in his calculating to know running out of the restaurant
Yeah.
and not paying the bill is going to draw attention. And it's also probably going to get them like coming after him or calling the police, which makes it that much crazier.
Yeah.
So he just tried to do it real slick. And he's like, she going to see my name, but oh well. She'll see it later.
Yeah.
By that time, I would have had Ceci in my arms.
His main goal, he has a goal and he
trying
wants
to
to reach it, and
get
he's
to
just
Ceci.
implementing whatever strategy. It's a strategy.
Get me some Ceci.
Oh,
He was
God.
just walking down the street like, give me some Ceci.
That's all he
Give me some
thinks.
Ceci.
And nothing is gonna get in the way of him doing that.
Because all he thinking about is Jake got his crummy hands all over my Ceci.
He gonna kill Jacob.
He gonna kill Jake.
And then he's
And
gonna
I
kill
guess that's a
Ceci.
great segue into predictions.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Never gets old.
All right, he walked in on her. She was about to shower.
She was about to shower, y'all. She in her panties, man, in that vulnerable space in the shower. The worst. And he's just standing there in the back of the bathroom.
He gonna give her a black eye. He gonna hurt her.
He gonna try to, nah, she gonna fight hard.
That's like my
this
worst
time.
fear.
What?
Is
Being-
getting showered, getting showered on.
attacked.
Whoa, Wait, whoa!
you-
Getting
you-
showered.
Late night show.
Sorry, that's not what I meant to say.
Getting
a
attacked in the shower?
Getting attacked in the shower.
Yeah, it's because you're naked. You're
Yeah.
vulnerable. Like, you're slippery and all kinds of horrible stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not even about the naked thing. Like the naked, I feel like if I was naked, it would be more empowering. Could be primal.
No, my
No,
dick be
man.
slapping on her.
I would be more concerned something's gonna get injured.
Well,
Like,
if
stop.
someone's attacking you when you're naked, you don't care if you're naked. I don't care if I'm naked. I'm trying to survive.
Yes.
I think if I'm in the shower specifically and there's water running beneath my feet,
Yeah,
then
Final
you're an easier
Destination. Have you
target.
seen that?
I want to be on solid ground, naked or clothed. I don't care. But I want to be able to defend myself.
I would like to be clothed because it's easier to rape naked, and I'm not into that.
Well,
I don't want that.
do you think Jacob's gonna finally pick up the phone and be the savior here, or do you think Ceci's gonna get away on her own?
I think it's gonna be a combination, and Jacob's gonna get beat up, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
And I feel like Vanessa's going to be involved
Vanessa's
a little bit
gonna
too.
come in and, like,
it's
Yeah.
going to really bring a bond together
gonna be a
between
crazy
Vanessa and Ceci.
melee.
Because this is like a serious. Imagine
Yeah.
like this is like a serious issue. Your enemy,
Yeah.
and you have to go through this with your enemy. So I think it'll really bring them together.
Yeah, especially since they both have
poor
gone through.
Vanessa.
Poor
pretty-
Vanessa. Like,
Yeah.
wow, the one guy that was into me like was this diabolical. It sounds like all my past
was just
relationships.
using
Just
me.
psycho. Like
Yeah.
what?
Except it's only a self-reflection. Hence why Jacob's phone said crazy ex-girlfriend, crazy ex-girlfriend.
I think
Karma is real.
they're all gonna get together,
And make out.
and
They're all, including Pedro?
everybody
Okay.
is gonna get together and talk it out like adults.
No, they're not. That's never going to happen.
No, honestly, my prediction is probably he's gonna get there, Pedro, and someone will die.
You think somebody's going to die?
Someone will get hurt.
Do we think Nick's gonna die?
I think Ceci will get hurt.
Ceci's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Ceci's
What about
gonna
Nick?
hurt.
Is Nick gonna live?
Nick is going to live.
Is Nick gonna get hurt? Is Nick gonna disappear because he's gonna testify?
I feel like
Or
maybe
is
I think
Jesus
Nick-
gonna get to him
hurt.
I think
first?
Nick is probably going to. He might not even be there. Like I think he's just gonna.
You think he's gonna run away?
Yeah, I think he's gonna run away. He's gonna like remove himself from the situation. I think he's a coward.
Well,
We'll
all
find
that
out
and
in the
more next
finale.
week here at AfterBuzz TV's East Los High AfterBuzz TV After Show. If you guys want to follow us and stay tuned, you guys can hit us up at iTunes, subscribe to us, and leave us 5 stars and an amazing rating. Also, tweet us at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you guys can contact me everywhere on social media at DJ Jesse J.
I'm at Stuart Starlet.
And I met Julian Dujeric.
And it's so professional of you. Till next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.